Hey Jose, Johnny Ortega here from Thrive Today Media. Thanks so much for your patience. It's clear that you're the type of business who takes action. So, as promised, here's your Google My Business audit. It contains some red flags that I noticed on your site and on your Google My Business listing. But don't worry, Jose, I'm also going to include a few things that you can do right now to get Omni Wellness in front of people who are actively looking for your services. So, with that in mind, Jose, I do love your logo and how you built your website. It's actually very aesthetically pleasing and vibrant enough to entice new business. However, I did notice that you don't have very much content going on. In fact, I did a quick analysis of your word count and I found that you have 1,167 words on your site. So, Jose, if you want to tackle that first, you want to do that first if you want to start getting more organic leads from Google because Google prefers content rich sites. So, why is that? Well, a higher word count helps Google to better understand what your text is about. And generally speaking, Google tends to rank longer content higher. For example, if we Google Michael Jordan, why is it that Wikipedia shows up above 755 million other websites? Well, one of the primary reasons is because Google wants to provide the best answers to the queries people have, and Wikipedia has all the content in one place. In fact, let's check it out. So, if you go to the Wikipedia page for that, you can see here that just right here, just half of this is a lot of content for just this one page, and you can do the same thing too. So, I recommend 2,000 words minimum on your homepage to get more free exposure from Google. But before you go off, and write 2,000 words and call it a day, I do want to mention this. While content length is clearly correlated with better search rankings, the factors that actually help Google rank pages are made possible by using the right keywords. Here's why, Jose. If your content doesn't match any search terms that real people use, you won't get any free leads from Google. So, in order to outrank your competitors, your content needs to be it needs to include specific keywords. More specifically, these keywords need to have enough people searching every month and have buyer intent behind the search. Now, what actually works in harmony with that is also using keywords with your images correctly. So, for example, here on your website, if we check out this picture, we can see here that you saved it as Ryan-RDL, and that doesn't help Google. What you want to do instead is customize the file names of your photos using keywords that have buyer intent. For example, like physical therapist, Fairfax, Virginia. And this will provide Google a little more information about what's on your page and the best keywords to associate it when someone does a search. But Jose, you also don't want to stuff keywords. Google's algorithm can detect spam and they're going to penalize you for keyword stuffing. So you definitely want to keep your file names descriptive and straightforward. And I'll show you in just a bit how you can find the right keywords. So with that in mind, Jose, I'm actually going to go to one of my favorite tools called Uber Suggest. And this is going to give us an in-depth look into how a website is performing. And so this is for your site. And so if you look at the top left, where it says organic keywords, that number tells us how many keywords your site is already ranking for in the organic search results. And then next, we have organic monthly traffic at 71, which is the number of organic traffic your site got last month. After that, there's a score of 3 for your domain authority, which is how trustworthy your website is in the eyes of Google. And this is scored out of 100. And then finally, you've got 2 backlinks, which is the number of websites that link back to yours. Now, in a little bit, Jose, I'm going to explain why these metrics are so important, how you can use them to actually reverse engineer your competition success. But first, let's actually see what keywords you're actually showing up for. So here at the bottom, these are the keywords that you're ranking for. So here we got Omni Wellness, which 320 people are searching into Google every month, and you're position 11 for that, and that brings you roughly 1 visit to your website every month. Then we got Omni Wellness Center, which is being searched by 140 people every month, and you're in position 16th, which also brings you about 1 visitor to your to your website every month. Then we got Omni Physical Therapy, which also has a search volume of 480 every month, and you're in position 21st place for that, and that brings you about one visitor to your website every month. And then next, you're also showing up for Stretch Moves, which has 170 people looking for that every month, and you're in position 29. But this time, this keyword doesn't bring you any traffic. And actually, as I can see here, and as you can see here, you're not getting traffic for these other terms because you are ranking for them, but you're in position like 50, 70, 90, and 20 for those search terms. So you're not even close to the first page. So you definitely want to find more profitable keywords to rank for. And Jose, how I find these keywords is actually using this very same tool, but this time I'm going to put in a competitor so we can see what keywords are already working for them. For example, if we go here, and if you look at the website for integrated sports medicine, we can see that they rank for 1,069 keywords, and they also got 521 visitors last month from those keywords. So with that in mind, Jose, let's inspect what actual keywords people are using to find them so that you can use them too. So for instance, let's see. So for instance, for sports medicine, physical therapy, there's 2,400 people every month searching for that keyword on Google. And if we look under the column called SEO difficulty, that tells us on a scale of 0 to 100 how difficult it would be to get to the first page of Google for that search term. And so with an SEO difficulty of 32, that's very promising. But here's the thing though, SEO rankings don't happen overnight. But if you go after a keyword with an SEO difficulty of 32, it's going to happen a lot faster than if you were to go after a keyword like Burke Rehab, which has an SEO difficulty of 78. Now, Jose, if I were you, I would also go after keywords like, let's see, like physical therapy, sports medicine, and sports medicine, physical therapy, which both has 720 people searching every month, and both have low SEO difficulty scores. But then, Jose, I would also target a keyword like, let's see. So right now I can't see all the data because I ran out of usage for my account on this tool. But you could definitely check this yourself. They got a free trial for this. And but what we saw before was actually that the keyword that you also want to target is actually physical therapist, Fairfax, Virginia, because it's actually being searched 210 times every single month, and it has a decent SEO difficulty score, and it's location specific, so there's more buying intent. And so yeah, these keywords are very promising, and you definitely want to include them on your website, but you also want to save your images using those keywords, and then upload into your website like I mentioned before. Now, since physical therapist Fairfax, Virginia is actually being searched 210 times and it's partially a search term that you want to rank for, let's check it out so you can see how to grab that top spot and ethically hijack that free traffic. So here, let's go back to Google. So here at the top, we have the ads section, which most people just skip. And then we have the Google My Business section, which is free to be listed on there and gives you free traffic. But in order to be at that top spot, you actually need to have a lot of trust from Google. So it's basically a popularity contest and a lot like high school. So if you want to be the prom king or the prom queen, you need votes from all the cool kids. And in this case, the cool kids are other trusted websites inside and outside of your industry. And the more powerful and trusted websites that link to yours, the higher your site moves in the search results. Plus, every quality link to your site is like another friend vouching for you. And each quality link gives you power and increases the level of trust in Google's eyes. And Jose, just think about it from Google's perspective. Google's a free search engine. You don't have to pay anything to use it. You can hop on Google anytime and search anything for free, right? Yeah, so the only way that Google makes money is when businesses pay for ads. like this one here at the top. And the only reason that businesses pay for ads like these is because everyone, including all their customers, are searching on Google for everything. But no one would use it, if search engine results weren't good. For instance, if I typed, or even if you typed physical therapist near me, and the results came back with dentist, you'd be pretty upset and never use Google again. So Google does everything in its power to make sure it delivers exactly what you're looking for when you search for something. And the best way to do this is also by basing, in the best way to do that is by basing website rankings on trust, so that only the most trusted websites show up in the top spots. That way searchers stay happy. So how do you make Google trust your website? Well, Jose, for the map section, right here, you need to build something called citations. And a citation is anywhere that lists your business name, address, and phone number online. Example of citations include Facebook, Yelp, Bing, Yahoo, Yellow Pages, Angie's List, BBB, etc. But then there's also industry-specific citations, which are even more valuable. So go out and list your business in as many high-quality online directories as your competition. Every single one of those sites is already trusted by Google, and when you list your website on them, some of that trust is going to be shared with you too. And the more quality citations you have, the more Google will trust your website. So aside from doing keyword research and pumping out more content that's strategic, building more citations is one of the main things that you need to do if you want to show up in the top 3 spots for Google Maps. Then, Jose, after these citations are done, you need to start building backlinks. That's the other major factor that will affect whether or not your website will show up in Google Maps top section and the top few spots of the organic search results that show up right here, below the map. Now, in case you forgot, Jose, a backlink is when another website links to yours. So how do you get a website to, link to yours? Well, one way is to uncover your competitor's strategy and retrace their steps using a tool like Ahrefs. So inside of Ahrefs, we can go inside the tool and put one of your competitors' URL, and then we're going to hit check backlinks. Okay, and so this is all showing, showing all the websites that your competitors got a link from, and all you have to do is just cherry pick the best ones for yourself. So review the results and go out to every single one of these websites and get the same links. For instance, if your competitor has a link on yellowbook.com, go there and find where you can add your link to. Now, you won't be able to get every single link because some of them might have occurred organically, like when we do a press release for our clients, but you'll be able to get a good number of these links. And if you do this for each of your top competitors, you'll have a never-ending supply. So, Jose, can you see how powerful this method is? If you consistently add quality links to your website, your rankings will improve dramatically, and you will start getting more leads and phone calls without paying for ads. Okay, Jose, so now let's talk about the organic results section, which is the second best place to get free leads from Google. So here we're still looking at the results for physical therapist, Fairfax, Virginia, and if you recall correctly, it's actually getting searched by 210 people every month according to Ubersuggest. So if that was you, you'd be getting all that traffic, but it's not you. It's actually Excel Rehabilitation. Now, you would think it's Yelp who's your number one competitor for this keyword, but the fact that they're number one in these organic results is an indicator that this keyword difficulty for this one is pretty low here. You see, Yelp is one of Google's biggest competitors. So, they're one of Google's biggest competitors because they sell leads too. So Google would rather show local results because these other websites below aren't as trustworthy. They're showing Yelp to keep searchers happy. And the same goes for expertise.com, who's a directory site just like Yelp. But ptsolutions.com isn't your SEO competitor either because they're a national brand. And again, Google would rather show local results, but these guys have more trust than other local websites, and that's why they're there. So, Jose, with that in mind, let's put the website of Excel Rehabilitation into Ubersuggest and see why they're sitting in the top spot instead of you. Let's see what they're doing right and what we can do to take their spot. So let's go to Ubersuggest. So here we are at Ubersuggest, and on the top, On the top left, we can see that they rank for 392 organic keywords, and last month they got 285 visitors to their website for free from Google. Now, if we compare that to yours, so if we compare that to yours, you only show up for 109 compared to the 392 that we saw from your competitor, but that's not even the most interesting part. What's more interesting is actually their domain authority, which is 16 out of 100. And again, this is a score of how trustworthy Google thinks your website is. So if we go back to your website and look at the analytics, we can see that your domain authority is 3 compared to the 16 that we saw from your competition. So that's not too bad of a starting point. It's totally beatable if you take action soon. In fact, one of the secret weapons that I use for my clients to get Google to trust their website more is by doing niche related guest posts to get more backlinks. Remember, Jose, links pass authority in relevance, and so getting other relevant websites to talk about you online increases trust with Google. So how do we find these opportunities? Well, Jose, you can pull up a backlink analysis of your competitor on a tool like this one. And chances are one or more of your competitors are going to have backlinks from a guest post that they've done. So you want to submit guest posts on those sites too. And this will also help you increase the number of backlinks that you have. And if we look at the last metric, here we can actually see that you have 2 backlinks right now. So if we compare that to the business who's ranking, we can see that they have 116 backlinks to be more specific. And so this is why they're at the top spot of Google. That being said, Jose, here's the problem that I see. To do all this, you're going to need some support. I know how busy you are. Every day it's a struggle to get on the phone with entrepreneurs because we're all over the place working. And not to say that you can't do anything, but this kind of stuff you can't really do yourself because it's very technical. So, Jose, how can you do something like this? Well, before it's a paid course, you can take my free training called 8 Steps to Get Free Exposure from Google, and you can study it and try implementing it in your own business on your own time. The problem here, though, is that I know you're slammed and you can't spend that kind of time focusing on this stuff. I hear it every day. It's highly unlikely that you're going to get to it. I understand that. So, Jose, option number 2 is you can just build an in-house marketing team, to try to learn the strategy and letting them implement this on your own business. In fact, I've met a handful of awesome in-house marketing teams, and when it's done right, it really works really well because they really understand who you are at the core of your business, but you're still going to have to pay a nice salary for anyone worth their weight in gold, and they're still going to have to replicate the system into your own business. So, Jose, it still takes time, money, and effort to do something that may or may not work out. Or step 3 is you can hop on a free strategy call and I can build you your own blueprint to dominate your own local market. Look, Jose, there's no way I can go through your custom, business blueprint in a short video. So because it's unique and deserves its own time, we need to get together on a phone call to give it that attention. On this call, Jose, I can present you your own keyword strategy, show you specific on-page elements that you need to change on your site to get more traffic. I'll also show you some errors in your Google Maps optimization and how many links you need to outrank others in the maps and the organic listings too. So I guess the real question is, what do you have to lose? I'm going to show you how you can eliminate your ad spend and turn your website into a lead generation machine using this strategy. In fact, Jose, if we had to calculate a low-end ROI for this call, it would be something like this. If you're currently spending $5,000 to $10,000 on leads, and you stop paying for all mid-quality lead services and that reduce your marketing budget by 50%, and you assign the same budget to ranking in the maps, and we were to land 50 to 150 calls each month, and your average ticket is, $10,000 to $15,000, and you close 25% of those calls, on the low end, that's $125,000 per month in sales, or on the low end, that's $1.5 million a year that we can figure out how to automate by implementing this strategy into your own business. So, Jose, here's the deal. We're a first come first serve agency because we don't take on multiple clients in one industry per city. So if your competition partners with us, then we can partner with you too. So go ahead, and schedule now to lock in your city. Paying for leads is not scalable. And in the long run, Jose, you're going to realize that organic leads is what you wanted all along. So, Jose, I hope that you got a ton of value and I look forward to your feedback. Bye-bye.